So you're starting to ask yourself the question, does having professional photography really make a difference in selling your home? Well, today we're going to dive into that and we're going to lay out all the pros and cons of going with professional photography when it comes to selling your home. So, if you're new to the channel and you really want to know everything about living and moving to Las Vegas, Henderson, Summerlin, or Southern Nevada in general, make sure you subscribe below, hit the like button, hit that bell down there, make sure you're getting those notifications so that you can be the first to know what's going on in the current market in Southern Nevada. All right, you're thinking about selling your home and you've probably heard probably 1,000 times that a picture is worth 1,000 words. But when it comes to real estate, well, a picture could actually be worth $1,000 or more. So today we're really going to talk about why using professional photography and a team can make all the difference in how quickly your home sells and for the amount that it sells for. So let's get into it. Okay, so with professional photography, it's more than just taking the pictures, right? We all have cell phones, and some of the cameras these days are absolutely just top of the line. But really what it comes down to is that knowing how to use the angles, knowing how to use the lighting, knowing how to showcase certain areas and elements in a home. Because at the end of the day, we're using those pictures to tell a story. And when a client, potential buyer looks at that and they see all these pictures and how they flow through the home, they're starting to envision their things in the home, what they would be doing there, how they fit in the home, maybe how their family fits in the home, maybe how, the pets have room to run around in the backyard, whatever the case may be, they're starting to put that vision together. So having those quality pictures that really showcases the home and tells a story is just vitally important to this process. So on average, we're seeing that homes that have professional pictures that are telling a story like this can sell 30 to 40% faster on the market than other, and even for more money because we get multiple people in there, we get the foot traffic in there, and in some cases you're causing a little bit of a bidding war because the pictures have told a story that everybody wants to hear, everybody wants to be a part of, and then they start to pay for it. So let's take a look at some of these examples and we'll start to review some of the do's and don'ts of photography. All right, so here we are. We just walked into a listing. Well, at least online we did. And so the first thing is just visually, right? Where do our eyes go? We go to the pictures, right? We don't really go into the details. The price we already know was part of our search criteria that got us here, but we start to look. And as my first impressions start to hit, I start to see things like a stock image, right? Nothing that tells me a lot about the home. Okay, maybe there's a golf course there. But as we start to roll through these, you see that these photos have not been taken professionally. I've got a blurry photo of some mountain range, a bad angle of a kitchen area. I've got an up-close personal view of some very overcrowded trees and bushes into the front yard. I've got just another tree, right? So as our first impression goes, what story is being told here? If I'm a potential buyer, do I look at this home and rush to make sure that I've got a showing request in to take a look at this property? Does it speak to me that way? Whereas we start to look at one of the other listings that's not too far from this property that I know we personally used with professional photography. Now, what is the first image here? Bright, lighting, inviting. We see wide angles. We see more of the house in each shot. And you can start to see how the story is developing from the dining room to the family room to the kitchen area. And you see bright light, wide angles again, and really painting a bigger picture of what this house really could be for you. And so this is a property that we have gotten foot traffic on because probably the first impression hits them, right? They look at these first, and then the buyer's mind starts to realize, do I want to go see this property? Could I envision myself in this property? Now, we're going to see people that stage photos. They virtually stage them and bring this in. In this case, this is kind of that in between. It is staged, but, it is personal belongings that really won't convey with the property. But you can see that the first impression is a lot more different here and a lot more inviting. And again, we're telling the story. What is it like through the kitchen, the living room? What does the outdoor space look like? Some more detailed pictures here, of course, some zoom-ins to really show and highlight the quality of items that are in the house, and in this case that will convey with the property. But probably the most important thing to realize here is that these pictures are painting a story for that potential buyer. Let's take a look at another great example. This house is a beautiful home in a desired neighborhood, but the first time around it sat on the market for quite some time, over 90 days. And, is it all pictures? Well, no, probably not. There's probably more to the story than that. But in this example, let's take a look at the pictures and let's see what the first impression gives us. So as we start to jump in through the home, okay, we start to see some overcrowding out front. And let's just flip through the pictures. So we don't have wide angles. We don't have great lighting. And so, yes, we get to see what the home has to offer. And that's a beautiful home, but you start to see shadows. It's hard to really go through these photos and envision yourself moving into this property. The story that's being told is not one of high intensity where you're like jumping at the bit to call your agent and to jump into this property, right? So now, this one sat on the market for over 90 days this time. Let's take a look at the same property, but let's see what happens when we use professional photography and see if we can paint a different story. All right, and so now we are back with the newer listing, and just look right away. The front, more inviting. Yeah, still some trees, still some stuff that's into our picture. We're not going to be naive to that, but the lighting. Look at the quality of the pictures, that just the outside even of the home looks a little bit more presentable. And we get to see actually how big the landscape of it actually is. Some more pictures here. Now we go back into the same living room where the fireplace is. We see wider angles. We really get an idea here of how big the home is. Maybe you start to visualize, what does my sectional look like in here? What does my recliners look like in here? Can I envision myself sitting around with the fire and maybe my TV up on the wall? But with the wider images and the lighting, you start to see more options. You start to see how big this bottom floor is. And again, you can tell that now, you have open windows here with natural light coming in. You can see how this room flows into the family room, into the kitchen area, okay? So we really start to see a picture here. And the first impressions when we see these photos are now warm, inviting, spacious. So when I'm a buyer looking at this now, I start to envision what it's like living in this property. Will my furniture fit? Will my lifestyle work with this setup? And I get a lot more opportunity to have those thoughts with these photos. And so when we go back to it and we really start to talk, why do professional photos matter? Because at the end of the day, they paint a better picture, which we've been nailing home. And I get it, but I can't stress enough what professional photos will do to your home, will do to your listing. And whether you're working with an agent that you've had for years or whether you're trying to sell the home by yourself, either one is perfectly fine. But when you start to look at how they have laid this out or how you're going to lay this out, make sure you're taking these things into consideration, okay? And if your agent's not doing these or you're not able to do this, this is probably a time where, it makes sense to jump on a call, have a text message conversation, and get my team and I over there to show you how we can transform your home. But hopefully this starts to settle a little bit of the difference of where you can tell professional photos versus non-professional photos. So let's take a wrap. Let's bring it all back. And I'm going to come right back at you here. All right, guys, thanks for hanging with me in today's video. And before you go, just remember these two things, okay? Remember, buyers aren't just purchasing your property. They're buying into a lifestyle, a dream, okay? And they want to see that in the best way possible. And professional photography helps sell that dream by just capturing the essence and the beauty of your home and showcasing that to all the potential buyers out there, okay? And really probably the biggest thing to walk away with this too is that, of course, like a lot of things, this is an investment, sure. However, I truly believe that this is an investment that will pay off twofold, not only with the speed of which we can help sell your home, but also with how much we can sell your home for. Because at the end of the day, if we can drive more foot traffic through there, we can get higher, better offers and even multiple offers to continue to drive that price up. So if you're looking to sell or buy in the next 9 days or even 90 days, and you feel that you would benefit from a call, a text thread, or even a Zoom call, don't hesitate to reach out. You got my number all over in the description down below. Click on the links. Let's talk, because when it comes to living in Southern Nevada, I hope I get to show you around and help you make this home.